Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caleb Dennison for Digital Trends, and today I'm reviewing the TCL 75R617. That's the 75-inch version of its vaunted 6 Series line. And what can I say? This TV has no business looking as good as it does, especially for the price. So we're talking about a 75-inch monster television that you can get for less than $1,500. Right off the bat, that's encouraging. But when we talk about the picture quality that you get from this TV, it's blowing my mind. It far exceeds my expectations. And look, I just got done reviewing the Sony X950G, which is Sony's best 4K TV for the year, and this thing is standing right up against it. We will have review videos that compare this to the Sony and to the Hisense H8F, but for now, let's focus on what this TV can do and can't do. Okay, so before we get to real life viewing stuff, let's use some test patterns to kind of gauge how this TV measures up against some of the others that we've reviewed recently. This particular pattern puts little white boxes in the corners. As you can see, we're looking for blooming around here. And when I'm on axis, I don't see much. It's actually very good in SDR. We'll check HDR in a second. What I do notice though is from here, if I'm looking over at that white box, it is very grayed out. So the off-axis viewing on this TV is not tremendous. Also, when off axis, I can see a little bit more of the blooming. So the key here is you want to be in the money zone, right in the middle of the room. Now, as you get farther away from the TV, that widens a little bit. And because it's so big, I'm thinking it's going to serve a fairly large audience. Now, let's check out the same thing in HDR. I'll just switch with my pattern generator here. And we expect to see more of the same, possibly brighter. Yeah, so we've got a higher peak brightness here, and I'm not seeing much more halo around this box. So that tells me that the local dimming is working pretty well on this TV right now. Now we're checking out the black levels on the TV. Black levels mean contrast, and that really makes your picture pop. And with black boxes right next to white boxes, we have the opportunity for these to gray out a little bit. Lesser TVs definitely do that. This one is not doing too bad. We have a bright room going on right now, but what I'm seeing in SDR anyway is a reasonably good black level. That tells me that the local dimming is doing its job. Now we're in HDR mode, as you can see, and more of the same. Higher peak brightness, as I expect, without much sacrifice going on in the black boxes. So I think when we look at black levels, what we're seeing is this TV punching well above its price class. Here's a ramp that goes from black all the way up to peak white. This is an SDR, and we want to see a bar all the way to the end, and we definitely do. So that tells me that it maps out standard definition content just fine. It doesn't look super bright on the far right there, but as we know from checking out the previous patterns, we know that it can get brighter. So my understanding here is that it's going to map out SDR tones just fine. Now that we're in HDR, we can see that it's doing a little bit of clipping right at the very end. So it's taking the juiciest, brightest highlights and just kind of clipping them out at the very, very top end. So it's not perfect, but that's not terrible. I have seen TVs where it clips everything from here forward. So the fact that we're getting a little bit of detail on this end is encouraging. Back to SDR, because I want to talk about shadow detail. Now, there are better patterns that I can use to judge shadow detail, and I've looked at them, but the camera can't pick them up in this scenario. So we'll leave it here, and I'll point out that in SDR, we have a pretty good delineation between near black and absolute black. So now that we're in HDR, what we would expect to see is a more subtle difference between true black and just above that, really dark gray. I do see that. It's kind of hard to capture it on the camera. I've looked at other test patterns, and what I can tell you is that the TV does crush in the darkest of darks. So it's not going to offer you OLED or QLED level shadow detail. But again, this TV is punching well above its price class, beating out mid-tier TVs from its major competitors. Color accuracy and SDR is just fine. Nothing wrong with this TV at all. It definitely performs differently in HDR. So in HDR, things are juiced up maybe a little bit too much. I mean, the magenta is really screaming at me, and the blue is looking a little too royal for my liking. So I think the TV would benefit from a little bit of calibration. However, it's not completely out of spec. And honestly, while I'm not thinking about the total color volume when I watch TV, I'm not thinking, it's only doing 93% of the DCI-P3 color space. What I do notice is that colors pop when they're supposed to pop, and lay low when they're supposed to lay low. So when this TV is not doing a hardcore test pattern, the processing seems to do very well. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so this is Stranger Things in Dolby Vision. This is season 2, episode 3, and it's definitely crushing the blacks a bit. It's more difficult to see subtle detail when you've got a room lit up like we do here, but even with that, I can tell you that it's crushing some of the shadow detail a little bit, and then definitely juicing up the HDR highlights, as you see with the lamps in the background, the different lights. This is a very appealing look. This is definitely how Netflix wants it to look, but you're losing a little bit of the shadow detail here. So again, not a top tier TV, but it's doing pretty well. I'm definitely not disappointed with the performance, especially if I'm getting a 75-incher for under $1,500. This is also a great episode to talk about color. I've seen this a million times on like all the TVs. And I can tell you right now that the red doesn't look quite right. There's a little bit too much orange going on right now. And you can see more evidence of red not being handled correctly here and also over here. That's just too juiced up. So the TV needs a little bit of calibration in order to get the color just right. Also, let me mention, this is in Dolby Vision dark mode. So it's exhibiting exactly what Dolby wants out of it, or at least it's supposed to. And based on my experience, the color is just a little off in the red area. And that plays out with what we saw with the test pattern, where we were seeing the magenta looking like it was just a little too much. So I pulled up some YouTube footage in SDR, because what I've noticed with this TV is when it's in SDR, the color just looks better. It looks a lot more natural, and the detail is great. I think part of the reason this TV is looking so good is that the screen uniformity is on point. Now I know that when you're out buying a TV, it's kind of the panel lottery, right? You don't know how it's going to perform. And then when you look at how different manufacturers do quality control, some are better than others. In our previous 6 series review, we had a 65-incher in here that had some screen uniformity problems, and they were pretty prominent. This has none of them. So we know that it's definitely possible for TCL to produce a TV that has a very uniform screen, and we got that here. Lucky me. I don't know what your experience is going to be like, but I would say that if you get one that you notice doesn't have a perfectly uniform screen, and you see this a lot when watching sports, like soccer, for instance, where you've got a big green field, you'll definitely see blotchiness if it's not a well-made screen. If that happens to you, I would suggest just returning it and maybe getting another one. And if it happens to you the second time, maybe move along. But my hope is that TCL is getting on top of its quality control game, and more of you are going to get a picture like this. All right, back to HDR mode. And look, I know I harped on this TV for being a little out in the reds. That was my video file expert analysis, but let's just talk about watching TV in general. I've seen this footage thousands of times at this point, and it looks great. In fact, when my producer Rich and I unboxed this TV and turned it on for the first time, our immediate impression was, wow, that looks great. And that's because it is great. I mean, it's not Sony level processing, but by and large, this is one of the best looking TVs that I've seen this year. And that's really saying something, especially coming from TCL. If you're a videophile and you're loaded, you can do a little bit better by spending a lot more money. You can get a TV that doesn't crush the blacks quite as much, maybe punches a little bit harder in the bright highlights in HDR. You're going to want to look at a Sony or an LG OLED, maybe a Samsung QLED TV. But if you want a big screen that has really excellent picture quality and you don't want to spend a ton of money, your options are few. TCL's got this, the 75R617, and then you can look at the Vizio P series. That's also an excellent TV. But I gotta tell you, I think on the whole, between the picture quality and the user experience, this TV makes the most sense for the most amount of people. It's an everyman TV price, but with video file picture quality coming into play, I just think it's an outstanding value, and it comes highly recommended for me. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Comparison videos are coming, but if you have questions now, hit me in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back to you. In the meantime, here's 2 other videos we think you might like to watch, and as always, visit digitaltrends.com for the latest tech news and reviews.